Hey guys, happy day 4 of at-home learning. Awesome news. Today is Friday, which usually means that we are about to have the weekend, except for now it seems like every day is the weekend, so that's kind of fun. Again, I hope you guys are having some fun outside. I cannot believe we've had an entire week of such awesome weather. Seriously, this has been so nice. I cannot imagine being cooped up in the house with rainy weather with no option to go outside. I am so glad that if we have to be at home right now, then this is what we are getting to do. Go outside, have fun with pets, play with parents, play with siblings. It's been so nice. So make sure that you have gone outside and gotten to do that today. Again, I'm going to tell you like I did the other day. If you haven't gone outside yet today, you need to hit stop on this video and go play first. Okay, so if you've already done that, you can stick it out with me, or if mom's wanting you to do this first right now, that's totally fine, okay? So hopefully today you have read 30 minutes of something. You can read to yourself, to someone else, to a stuffed animal. I just got done doing your read aloud. I was reading, well, to you guys, but mostly to Zoe outside. We read We Are the Gardeners today, and then we are about to go outside after this video and plant some things. If you watch the video for the read aloud, you will get to hear a little bit more about that. And I'll definitely post a picture of what we're working on in the garden after that. I think you guys will really enjoy that. So for writing today, it says complete cursive practice, page 7. So this is your cursive sheet for today. Let me see if I can make it all fit. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna put our name at the top. That part can be in print or in cursive, whatever you're more used to. The first part says use your best cursive writing to copy the words. Now remember, just like when we do our letters, we don't want to only take up half of the line with it. We want to do it as many times as it'll let us, as many times as we have room for. So remember, sometimes what I recommend doing is just copying, like tracing the word first, so you can get that movement kind of down a little bit in your hand. And remember, it's okay if it's not exactly on the lines, like we're just practicing here, okay? So don't stress yourself out about that. But if it looks bad, make sure that you do erase it. I'm actually gonna switch over to a pencil because you guys know, sometimes you just mess up and you just need another go at it. So let's see what we got here. Remember, we don't stop after the letter to dot the T. We go back at the end and we dot our T, or we cross our T's and we dot our I's. We do that after we're done writing the word, because the point with cursive is to not pick up what you're writing with until the very end. So you see how I didn't just write it one time and move on. I'm going through and I'm practicing this word several times because it's actually going to be in my joke at the bottom after this. So I want to make sure I've got these words down. That way when I get down there, they look nice and pretty so people can actually read the joke. Okay, so now we've got the word book. The first word was math. Okay, so make sure that you're paying attention. You don't want to drop anything down below the line unless it's supposed to. And you don't want to go way above this top line. That's what it's there for in dark. Okay, make sure that if it reaches the middle line here, we do that while we're writing too. So we've got our B, O, O, and our K. And remember, if you need more practice with any of these letters, you can do that on a piece of notebook paper. You can do that on a dry erase board. We just want to make sure that we're taking our time and being nice and neat. Notice I didn't say perfect, I said neat. Okay, and so you'd keep going like that until you filled up at least the majority of your line. Some words you're going to be able to write more on one line. Some words you're going to be able to write less. It just depends on the letters that were used in that word. Okay, so there's book. And our last word is a little bit longer. It is problems. Ooh, and see, I went down too far right there, so I'm going to erase that. I don't want any ugly cursive on my page. Okay, I'm going to go up. And notice I connected all of my letters. I didn't stop unless I absolutely had to, okay? So go P, R, O, B, L, E, M, S. So make sure you're getting the right number of humps in the top of your M. Otherwise it's going to look like an N. And if you have too many, that's just going to look crazy. Okay, so go slow. One thing that I do, if my hand needs to move over, I just keep my pencil touching and I just move my hand over, like inch it like this while I'm writing. Because sometimes that's the hardest part, is your hand needs to move. So don't try to move it and keep writing at the same time. Pause and move it over, and then keep writing with your cursive. Some of you, I noticed at school, whenever you're trying to write like this, you guys move your whole hand. When you're writing small, remember, it's just with your fingers right here. So this is where it's going to be really important that you're holding your pencil right. You want to make sure that you are moving with your hand and not your whole arm. Now it says, use your best cursive writing to copy the sentences below. Now you can go ahead and trace over this once if you'd like to. I'm not going to on the video just because I don't want to use up too much of your time, okay? So your first part, it says Y. Now if you notice on our capital, it's not connected, okay? So you're going to end that with this little flag, and then you're going to start at the bottom. So W-H-Y, Y was the, remember, cross at the end, math book always. Notice I'm scooting my hand over, like I said, whenever I need to. So unhappy. And it's okay if yours takes up more lines than theirs. They have a printer. They can do that as small as they need to. That's harder to do when you're writing with an actual pencil, okay? So just like I had to go to the next line, that's totally fine. That's why they gave you more lines. So why was the math book always so unhappy? Because it had lots and lots of problems. Ha, ha, ha. So funny. So I'm going to come down here. For my B, I just make one straight line. I come up and I touch, and then I go back out. And remember, it's not connected either if you look closely. So because it, and we do the whole word it before we go back and dot our I and cross our T, had lots, same thing here, do your T and then go back and cross, and lots of problems. Ha ha ha, what a funny joke. Alright, if you need more time to keep working on that, go ahead and you can pause me, you can come back to this, whatever you want to do there. I was going to read the side to you. It says, tip, if you have to break a word at the end of a line, use a hyphen. Remember, that would be like if I was writing right here and I could only fit un, then I would go to the next line and do happy. You can do that. I don't always recommend it just because it's going to look a lot better if you just go ahead and go to the next line. But that is an option. So a hyphen is just that little dash right there. And then bonus chuckle. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Ha ha ha. Such funny jokes. A little cheesy if you ask me, but cheesy jokes are funny ones sometimes. Okay, the next thing on your list is to get 60 minutes of physical activity a day. Break it up and make it fun. And then pick one more thing on your drop everything and move choice board. So for me today, I am going to play charades with a friend or family member and move like 5 different animals. And I will video that for you guys just for your entertainment, because I know you guys will think that's pretty funny. All right. For math, Education Galaxy for 20 minutes. Remember, that's the purple My Study Plan tab. You can pick anything from math that you want to work on. It says complete 1 subtraction and money page. So we're going to do count the money today. So remember, you're going to put your name on here. So Billy Bob, number 0, teacher, Miss Bine, that's Mrs. B-I-E-N. Score, well, you don't know that till the end. Better do it before we get there so you can check yourself. And then date, today is the 27th. If you're doing this on a different day, that is totally fine. You can do this at your own pace. All right, so count the money. So remember, when we're counting money, we need to count with the biggest values first, okay? So I'm going to do all of my dollars first, and then I'm going to go to my coins. And luckily for us, they do already have these grouped largest to smallest as far as value goes. So I can just go through and count it like that. I know some of you do hairy money. I don't prefer to do hairy money. But if that is how you count, you feel free to go ahead and do hairy money that way. So we've got 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67. Now I never just count it once. I always count it twice just because it's too easy to make an error. 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 66, 67. So that's all my dollars. Now there is a chance that my coins will add up to be more dollars than that. That's okay. We could just add them together if that happens, okay? So start with your quarters. You've got 25, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. And remember, just like with the dollars, I'm not going to just count it once, I'm going to count it twice. Got 25, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. If you were doing hairy money, remember that we put them on there in fives. So we'd have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98. That's the only one I'm going to do hairy money on, just in case you needed a refresher. So you're going to write your answer over here, $67.98, and they've already got your dollar sign, so you don't need to rewrite that. Number 2, we've got 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 66. Recount. 20, 40, 50, 55, 60, 66. Now don't forget this quarter over here when we go to do our change, okay? So we've got 25, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 76, 77. And we're going to recount to make sure. 25, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 76, 77. So $66.77. Number 3, we have 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42. And recount. 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42. Now for our coins, we have 25, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, $1. So I'm going to write that on top this time because I have a whole new dollar. $1, $2, $3. So $1.03. So I'm going to have to add those up. Okay, so I've got 3 plus 0 is 3. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1 plus 2 is 3. And bring your 4 down. So we have $43.03. Now I'm going to double check my coins. I think I forgot to do that, so just in case. 25, 50, 75, 85, 90, 95, $1, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Number 4, we have 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72. And recount. 20, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72. And now for our coins, we have 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, $1, $1.01. Man, I think they did that just to make you do extra math. Let's recount those coins. We have 25, 50, 75, 85, 95, $1, $1.01. So we do have to add them. So 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, 1 plus 2 is 3, and bring down your 7. So $73.01. Last one on this side, number 5. We have 20, 30, 35, 36. And recount to be sure. 20, 30, 35, 36. Okay? Now for your coins, 25, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. And recount to be sure. 25, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57. So $36.57. Make sure you don't put the cents sign after it like this. That's why we put a decimal right here, because you don't need that cent sign if you already have dollars and cents. It's kind of a given right there. So if you've already done your paper and you've checked it all and you got all the same answers as me, your score is a 100. Woohoo! Good job. All right. Now for your back side. Okay, so this is subtraction with regrouping. So we got a lot to do on this side, okay? I'm going to talk you through each one of them. If you have already done this and you just need to check your answers and you're confident, you can skip past this part and just check them. That's completely fine. But if you are not confident on this, and I know I do have a lot of friends in 3B who kind of struggle with regrouping with subtraction, if you need some extra help, I want you to watch and go along with me and work it with me, okay? So we've got 203 minus 138. Can't do 3 minus 8. And you look at your 0, there's nothing there. So we have to go all the way across. We have to go next door and borrow, scratch and make it smaller. Bring that 10 to my side. What that means is that we take whatever this number is and we put a 1 in front of it. Okay? Now that still doesn't help me here. So again, I have to go next door and borrow, scratch and make it smaller. Bring that 10 to my side. And again, that just means take that number and put a 1 in front of it. So now we can subtract. So we've got 13 minus 8. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we've got 5. Then 9 minus 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6. And 1 minus 1 is 0. Do you need to write the 0 right here? No, you wouldn't say I have 0.65 cents. You'd just say I have 65 cents. So you don't need to add the 0 there, okay? So I'm not going to sing the songs every single time. That would get super annoying for everybody involved. So I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to say we're going to cross out, we're going to take away from the hundreds, we're going to take away from the tens, we're going to change it to a 9. Whatever goes with that. But if you need to sing the song each time, there is nothing wrong with that. I just don't want to get on your nerves doing that through the whole video. So when I see that I've got 2 zeros and I've got a 7, like a bigger number down here, I know automatically I'm going to have to go all the way over and regroup twice. Okay, so I'm going to go all the way over, take away from the hundreds place, turn my 9 into an 8, give it to the tens place, cross out the 10, the 0, it becomes a 10. Cross out the 10, it becomes a 9 because we're taking from the tens place and giving it to the ones. 0 becomes 10. So 10 minus 7 is 3, 9 minus 9 is 0, 8 minus 4 is 4. For those of you who typically add back to make sure, you know what I'm about to be doing. But if you don't typically add back, that is a skill that you should be practicing. Okay, I think I've told you guys that on your daily rigor before. So if you look over here, what I mean by add it back is you're going to add these two numbers to make sure that you get this number. It's the best way to check yourself, okay? So if we had 138 plus 65, okay, we've got 8 plus 5 is 13. 3, bring up your 1. 6 plus 3 plus 1 is 10. So 0, bring up your 1. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So 203 and 203. Do those match? Yes. Same thing here. We're going to add these two numbers. So 7 plus 3 is 10. 0, carry your 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. 0, carry your 1. 4 and 4 and 1 is 9. So 900 and 900. Did those match? Yes. All right. So if you want to add them all back each time to check yourself, that is definitely a good strategy to be practicing. So I've got 800. I'm going to cross out my 8 and turn it into a 7. Give it to my tens place. 0 becomes a 10. 10 becomes a 9. Give it to the ones place. 0 becomes 10. So 10 minus 1 is 9. 9 minus 2 is 7. And 7 minus 1 is 6. All right, next one, we're going to do 8 minus 9, right? No, can't do that. We don't have enough to give away. So we have to go next door and borrow. Now, it's not a 0 here. We do have something we can take away from, okay? Don't worry about that, what that does to the tens place yet. Just know you're only worried about the ones place right now. So we're going to cross out the 1 in the tens place and make it a 0. And we're going to give that amount to the 8 and make it 18. Okay? Don't worry about the rest of your problem yet. one problem at a time, okay? So 18 minus 9, we've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we've got 9. Now, if we look at the tens place, can you do 0 minus 4? Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so we've got to go to the hundreds place, cross out that 8 and make it a 7 and give it to the 0. Okay, so now we have 10 minus 4, which is 6. 7 minus 7 is 0. We don't need to write that. And the next one we have 7 minus 4 is 3. 8 minus 1 is 7. And 6 minus 6 is 0. And we don't need to write that. So that was an example of one without regrouping. So I am not going to work the entire page with you today, but I will post an answer key so that you can check yourself when you're done. And just like always, if there's one that you get stuck on, you can ask a parent, you can ask an older sibling, or you can ask me. Any of us would be more than happy to help you. Just make sure that you are checking your answers when you're done. That way you know for sure if there's any misunderstandings that you have or any little mistakes that you made that need to be fixed, okay? So I will upload a picture of that answer key for you at the end. And just like every day, you need to complete 2 squares in your choice board. Remember, if you've already completed 2 squares in your choice board, you don't have to do this today. It's just 2 for the entire week. Okay, so if you have already done this one, you can just skip this part. And then practice your addition, subtraction, and multiplication flashcards for 5 minutes each. Okay, I am going to skip science for a minute and I'll come back to that. We're going to go ahead and look at our Constitution page. Okay, we started this yesterday for social studies, and I told you we weren't going to finish it yesterday. We'd just come back to it today. So we're going to go ahead and reread it quickly so that we can get to our questions. It says, the Constitution is the highest law in the United States. The Constitution was written in 1787, but it has changed through amendments passed by the states. And remember, amendments means to make a change. The first 10 amendments describe the rights of all Americans. They are called the Bill of Rights. The Constitution also describes the 3 main branches of government. The legislative branch makes the laws, and that's Congress. The judicial branch explains and interprets the laws. That's the judge. The executive branch makes sure that the law is followed. So who would that be in our country? Who's basically like the CEO of America? That would be the president. Okay. So your first question says the Constitution was written in blank. Do you see it in your passage? Right, 1787. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark that as question 1. It's always important to tag where you found it so that no one can tell you, hey, that's not right. You can say, yes, it is. It's right here. States can change it being the Constitution, states can change the Constitution by passing an, can you find it? How do they change the Constitution? Do you remember that word? Right, amendments. It says, but it's changed through amendments passed by the states. Okay, so that's also question 1. By passing an amendment. Now, we're not going to write amendments because this word and, that's an article that means just one. Amendment. We got to pay attention to the sentence structure when we're writing our answers. Now, number 2. The 3 main branches of government are, can you find them? Right. The legislative branch, the judicial branch, and the executive branch. So all of those are for question number 2. So we have legislative, judicial, and executive. Why do you think the Constitution is important? Now, this one is not going to be found in your story, okay? This is an opinion question, which means that as long as you're taking it seriously and you can explain your answer, then there is not a wrong answer. Okay, so why do you think that the Constitution is important? Now, no matter what your answer is, you need to always start it off by repeating the question in your answer. I think the Constitution is important because, now don't copy my answer. Think of a way to say your own answer in your own words, okay? I think the Constitution is important because it protects the rights of all Americans. So that's why I think it's important. So you need to have your own answer in your own words on this part. And when you're done, if you want to check and make sure it makes sense, ask a parent to listen to you while you read that answer to them and see what they think about it. Your next part says, complete the even numbered items on the note name words page. Okay, so this part is from mean old Miss Morris. Okay, she has sent home this note name words to get you to remember those words as you're practicing your recorders. Have you guys gotten recorders yet? I don't remember if you have or not. Anyway, you're learning the names of your musical notes so that you can practice it on your recorders, so that you can practice learning how to read music, and so that eventually when you get into 6th grade, you can know how to read music when you're in band. So let's look. We've got our chart right here. It says fill in the blanks with a letter from the musical alphabet using the musical code to reveal the words below. So we've got some mystery words here. Some of the letters are filled in, some of them are not. So we are going to only be doing the even number words today. We'll come back and do the odds on a different day. So remember, even Stephen and odd Todd, even numbers are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, or 0. Okay, so let's start with this one. We have P-I. I can think of a lot of words that would be this one, but let's look. Okay, if we match it up here, we see that it is G. So P-I-E or P-I-G spells pig. Okay, number 4. So I recognize this one. We just did this one. So I know I've got a G here. All right, so let's look back at it, okay? So I could count up. I've got G, and then I know up from G would be A, and then I would have B, and then I'd have C, and then D. So G and D. Okay, so D-O-G, dog. Now our next one we have, I knew this was G, so one up from G must be A. Now if I go up from A, I've got A, B, C. Now remember, every single line, it goes up a letter of the alphabet. So like if this one was A, the space is A, the line is B, the space is C. So it goes space, line, space. Now number 8. All right, I should know this middle line. This middle line's always the same. What is it? All right, it's B. Okay. Now, if this one is B and I go up, I've got A, B, C, D. Remember? It goes up by the letters of the alphabet, and it would go backwards if we go down. So from B, we have B, A, G, F, E. Your bottom line is always E. Now on your last one, oh, we said that bottom line was always what? E. Good job. All right, so if we go up there, we have E, F, G. Now we have 2 of those, 2 G's. So we have pig, dog, cat, bed, egg. All right. Oh, I almost missed the last one. Okay, if the bottom one is always E, then we just need to go up 1, E, F. So your last word is 5. All right, don't get rid of this page. We're going to come back to it a different day, okay? We are going to go on now to the language acquisition part of your assignment. Today it says, pretend you are a waiter or waitress at a family meal today. Practice your manners by serving your family members, asking them what you can get for them, thanking them for dining with you, etc. So I'm going to be doing this tonight. My whole family is going to laugh at me, but I firmly believe that whatever you're doing, I am also going to be doing, just so we can make it fair. And also, what else do I have to do? My job is to teach you guys, and if this is part of it, then that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do that tonight. Make sure that you are waiting on your family tonight. The whole point of that is so you can get that formal language. If you were in a restaurant, you wouldn't come up to somebody and be like, hey, what can I get you? No, you'd say, hi, thank you so much for coming in today. Would you like a table or a booth? Now, you may not have a table or booth, but you might ask your family, would you like to sit at the table or the bar? or the table or the couch, or would you like a TV tray? And once they're seated, you would go ahead and you'd say, I'm so glad that you were able to come in to see us tonight. What can I get you started with to drink? So you're going to go through it and really think about all of the dining experiences that you've had, even if it's not at a fancy restaurant. Even when you go to Sonic, they say, hi, welcome to Sonic. What can I get for you? They're still practicing those good manners, okay? Now, we're going to go back to science for your Matter scavenger hunt. So this looks a lot like the Matter scavenger hunt that we have done at school. It's been several months, though, since we've talked about Matter. So before you do this page, make sure that you've gone on BrainPop to review your solids, liquids, and gases. So remember that a solid is something that has its own shape. If I were to get this dryer ball wet, is it going to change shape? No. If I were to heat it up, will it change shape? Nope. It's a solid. If I were to pour the Dr. Pepper out of this can, it would take the shape of whatever I poured it into. If I poured it on this paper, it would become flat like the paper. If I poured it into this jar, it would fill up the jar in that shape. If I poured it into this water bottle, it would fill up the shape of this water bottle. So a liquid takes the shape of whatever you put it into. It can also be poured easily. I know that's something that a lot of you guys use to remember a liquid. And a gas, remember that gases are kind of the hardest one. They're kind of hard to see sometimes. I want you to really be thinking about that for your bonus on why it's so difficult to find and see gases. This might be one of the hardest ones for you to find on your scavenger hunt. So if you can't find 3, that's okay. Talk to your parents about it and have them come up with something else to help you. Remember that gas, like we're talking about on here, a gas is different than the gas that you put into your car. If you can spill it, it's not a gas, okay? So if you have ever gone to the gas pump and you've noticed that some of the gasoline has dripped onto the ground, that's because it's not a gas, it's gasoline. We just call that gas for short. So don't let that confuse you. Gas or diesel is not a gas like in the form of matter, okay? It's a liquid. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. If you need a review, remember you can go back to BrainPop or you can ask someone in your family. So I am about to go outside and I'm going to go ahead and fill out my Matter scavenger hunt, and I'll post a picture of that for you guys. I can't wait to see what all you come up with on your Matter scavenger hunt, and I hope that you will go ahead and listen to our read aloud today, and that you will have a great Friday and enjoy your weekend. I will still be checking in with you and doing read alouds over the weekend, but I will not be giving you any more video lessons this weekend because it's the weekend. Enjoy this time with your parents. I know some of them have had to work during this time when you've been off at home, and that's been hard for them because I know a lot of them would much rather be playing with you and getting to spend all this extra time with you. So don't worry about your packet this weekend. You don't even have to listen to the read alouds this weekend, guys. You can do whatever you want this weekend with your family, okay? So enjoy this time. Know that I am missing you dearly. And also make sure that you check online. We are going to be doing a parade at BES next week. So make sure that you check the Facebook group or you check the school website or you have a parent reach out to me if there's any questions about that. I really hope that you come to our parade because I miss your sweet little faces and I just cannot wait to see you hanging out of your car window, smiling and waving, and I will be looking forward to that. So I love you guys. I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I miss you. Bye.